The Life of Nelson Mandela, A Journey to Freedom. Before you scroll away, pause. Imagine fighting for freedom so hard, the universe literally says, "All right, fam, you're built different." That's Nelson Mandela, a man who went from village kid to rebel with a cause, to prisoner, to president, to global symbol of forgiveness. Basically the world's favorite grandfather who could end a war with a smile. Today, we're breaking down his life in a way nobody else does. Fast-paced, funny, emotional, and painfully shareable. Let's roll. The origin story. Nobody starts great. Here's proof. Picture this. South Africa, 1918. A baby is born in the countryside, and he's named Rolihlala Mandela, meaning troublemaker. Honestly, foreshadowing level 110. Mandela grows up in a traditional village where the Wi-Fi was so bad, it didn't exist. Kids herded cattle instead of scrolling TikTok. Life was simple, but Mandela was curious, observant, and already allergic to anything unfair. This is where greatness starts, not in perfect conditions, but in everyday life where your heart secretly grows roots. Finding purpose. One moment changed everything. Mandela studies law because someone had to stand up to a system that was basically the final boss of racism. He sees black South Africans being pushed down, silenced, and shut out. And he says, yeah, nah, I'm not built to stay quiet. He joins the ANC, African National Congress, and boom, he becomes that guy who isn't afraid to speak, organize, and call out injustice like it's his part-time job. If Mandela had Twitter back then, apartheid would have ended in a thread. Fighting apartheid, standing up against a system designed for you to fail. Mandela helps form the ANC Youth League, pushing for change with a strategy. Protest, organize, educate, repeat. The government wasn't vibing with that. Tension grew. Protests erupted. Mandela stepped up even more. Imagine facing a system stacked 100% against you and still saying, bet, let's run it. Courage isn't loud. Courage is refusing to sit down when sitting is safer. When peaceful isn't enough. The moment he realized the price of freedom, Mandela realizes peaceful methods aren't working. The government responds to protests with violence. People are suffering. He makes a hard choice, forming Untold, an armed resistance movement. Not because he loved conflict, because sometimes life pushes you into the hard path. This wasn't a Marvel origin story. This was a man forced into decisions by a system with zero chill. The trial, the speech that changed the world. Mandela is arrested, charged, put on trial. The world watches. And instead of begging for mercy, Mandela drops one of the hardest lines in history. I am prepared to die. Chills. When someone's fighting for others, fear stops controlling them. That's when power switches sides. 27 years. Imagine being locked up and still winning. Robben Island, a prison meant to break people. Mandela spends 27 years there. 27. Me, waiting 27 minutes for food delivery, already stressed. Mandela, he's out here studying, writing, teaching, building hope like it's a gym workout. His body was locked in a cell. His mind, untouchable. Freedom. The moment everyone remembers. Mandela walks out of prison. Crowds crying. People cheering. History literally shifting frames. You ever see a moment so powerful you feel it, even if you weren't born yet? Yeah, that's this moment. President Mandela. When the prisoner becomes the president. 1994, Mandela becomes South Africa's first black president. Instead of revenge, he chooses reconciliation. Instead of division, he chooses unity. Think about that. After everything, he chooses peace. Strong leaders don't fix the past by tearing people down. They rebuild what was broken. Legacy that lives forever. A light too powerful to ignore. Mandela becomes a global symbol of freedom, forgiveness, and courage. His story is proof that one person, with conviction, with backbone, with heart, can move an entire nation. If Mandela's journey hit you even a little, save this video, share it, and don't dip without subscribing, because we're dropping more stories of leaders who refuse to stay silent. And trust me, you do not want to be the last person in your friend group who knows these stories. See you in the next one.